A very good morning and welcome to our daily devotion. Today we'll be looking at Psalms chapter 124. First we'll have a brief overview of the psalm before we delve into a small point of reflection. So turn to your Bibles, either physical or digital, whichever is to your comfort, and let's get into it. So looking at the summary of the psalm, this is a psalm by David, and from verses 1 to 5, David reflects on the potential disasters that could befall in his life, in his kingdom, in the absence of God. And then from verses 6 to 7, he praises and gives thanks to God for his deliverance. And then finally, in verse 8, which is the key verse we'll be focusing on, David gives an affirmation of trust in God. So, as I said, focusing on verse 8 is, our help is in the name of the Lord, who made the heaven and the earth. So, taking away from this psalm today for our reflection is that God, it is good for us to acknowledge that God is our deliverer. It is good for us to acknowledge the help that He has done, and it is good for us to not just acknowledge but trust in His power. So, the main thing I want us to reflect on as we go through the psalm is that we have to give thanks for all the past deliverances that God has done for us. So, this psalm is reminding us, as David is seen reflecting on the potential disasters in the absence of God that he could have gone through. Like looking at verse number 2, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side when men rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us alive when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters would have overwhelmed us, the stream would have gone over our soul. So, and then verse 5 also he goes, then the swollen waters would have gone over our soul. So, here we can see that David is saying, if the Lord was not with us, the amount of suffering that his people would have gone through, be it loss in war, be it loss of natural resources, and be it famine as well. So, he's saying that if the Lord was not with us, all of these disasters would have befallen on me. And this is interesting because he is not thanking the Lord for outrightly doing something. He is thanking the Lord for something that the Lord has been continuously doing in the background, which in our lives we will also overlook. Because look at us, look at your own lives. How many of you have a home? How many of you have 4 walls? How many of you have a constant source of food? How many of you have available fresh water? All of these things are something that God is providing for us, and these are little things for us, yes, but these are things that still God is providing for us from the back that we are not thankful for and we take it for granted. So this psalm is reminding us not just the things that God is doing for us in the back, but is also reminding us to acknowledge God for the things that He's doing for us. So this psalm is a reminder for you to acknowledge God for all the little things that we have taken for granted. Acknowledge and give thanks to God for the food, for water, all the little provisions that you feel like it's just little, no. But at the end, without those things, without acknowledging those things, we know how much more difficult our life would be without food, without water, without a house. So, as David is reminding us in this psalm, our help is in the name of the Lord, maker of heaven and earth. So this psalm, remember all the things that God is doing for you in your life at the back that you feel is not making big of a difference, and looking at those little things, it should give you confidence and it should give you trust in His sovereignty in the future, in His power in the future for us to provide in the future. So look back at all the little things that God is doing for us. Look at all the things God is doing for you, for your family, for your friends, and all those little things that you take it for granted. Let those little things build up the trust in you, build up the trust so that we learn to earnestly trust God, not forcefully trust God, but earnestly trust God. Thank you.